Hello, friends, and welcome to vaagmi.tarot. I'm really delighted to bring you a tarot reading for which a lot of people had asked me for. And this reading is about the impact of coronavirus on relationships. Now, this reading is very relevant for many people because some people are stuck with those that they're finding difficult to stay with in lockdowns. And then there are some people who, because of travel bans and restrictions, are stuck far away from the people that they love. And this reading is about relationships in which there's a lot of exchange, a lot of dependence. I think it would mostly be for uh, romantic relationships like love partnerships, husband, wife, and things like that. But I will not rule out its relevance for many other relationships, even close friendships, and other kinds of codependencies in which uh, all of us are, and we don't know where to draw the line, or we are kind of just there and we don't know a way out of it or to better it and things like that. And so I brought out this reading. Um, One part of this reading is, as I said, about everybody who is suddenly forced to be stuck with people that they don't like too much. And the other part is about those people who are far away from those who love. And it is a time to rethink or think about what was, what is, and how distance is impacting relationships. So, we'll begin here. This is because a lot of uh, I've seen a lot of news about um, domestic violence increasing during lockdown. In fact, when China got locked down first, we heard that a lot of Chinese couples filed for divorce during the lockdown and after. And certainly, this period of confinement because of coronavirus has an impact on human thinking and relationships, uh, especially in places, or especially with people who were not thinking about their relationships and just going on with life. But they knew that there is something which is not kind of working. Okay, the overall kind of message that I got for people stuck in relationships that they don't think are working out is rising above. Take a good look at this card. Rising above, I see only beauty and grace. Now, there is this larger message in this reading about looking at your entanglement consciously. Sometimes we don't even question why are we in a place which is not working out for us? Why are we in a loveless situation? Or if our situation really is without love or companionship or understanding or those basic basic foundations. Um, and this is saying that if you are stuck in a place like that with a person who you're not very sure about or you're not liking too much, it's very important to rise above the situation, at least temporarily, at least for now, so that you don't give yourself too much pain thinking about it. Also, when the other person engages with you, say in an insensitive manner or in a manner that is not kind or not cordial, uh, you can still save your mental peace and your mental space and emotional hurt by rising above quarreling people or by not engaging in them. I mean, I know everybody's going to say that when people fight, don't engage in it. But sometimes these words, these hurtful sentences or interactions are directed towards us. And some people feel called to respond to it. And the whole point over here is that will responding or engaging make you lose something? Would it be better to engage or not? So that's the call that this card represents, rising above. Also, it's a call to rise above the level at which people around you may be taking the fight to. Can you rise above that level? Can you view it in a new light? Can you see why a person is behaving in a certain way? Everybody has their reasons. They could be good and bad, they could be fair and unfair. The thing is that even if a person's reason to behave unreasonably is unfair, you need to recognize that. You need to identify that this person is behaving like this because of this. And that's how you rise above. That's how you get closure temporarily. And I think everybody is asking us, in what time frame will things get okay? And I have brought out two cards to calculate a time frame in my own way, and that tells me the time frame is 3 months for things to happen. Um, and now and we'll revisit this time frame. So 3 months means, let's say it's end of April, so May, June, July, and so it would be end of July, beginning of August kind of a time when things get better, or people who are in a difficult situation sort their minds out. The next card that I have is the Knight of Discs. Now, this card is about value. A lot of people give value to themselves by the virtue of what their partner is doing in the world, how successful their partner is. Sometimes such people also end up losing faith in their own value, in their own self, and they cannot see themselves without the support of this partner. And sometimes the result of such an equation where someone knows someone's dependency gets really toxic. It can be misused. There could be a lot of people right now, because they have lost jobs or because their partners have lost jobs, maybe assessing or reassessing their own value and their partner's value. And I think this is clearly saying that this is the time to figure out if we are assessing our partners or ourselves based on what value materially we have in the world, because that should not have anything to do with emotions, ideally. Then it becomes a very material exchange. It becomes like a deal, a physical deal, and not something on the emotional level. And if some people have confused emotions with a material deal as well, a give and take, that may be coming to light in many relationships right now in the lockdown period. Sometimes also I do agree that there are economics that keep a couple together. There are expenses to be shared, and there are those kind of things, and you have to make a household work sometimes. And so even in those situations, many people, I have been told, are suddenly are having time to assess where they stand emotionally, or have they lost themselves too much in just trying to make the economics work. I think this whole thing of people being stuck in lockdowns and finding it difficult to navigate through relationships is a time so that we can reflect on these habits, these perspectives that we might be having, and seeing how we can balance them more. Yeah, I think balance is the right word, and I'm going to come back to that word again. The next card that I got over here is Cruelty in the Reversed. It's Nine of Swords, for the traditional tarot deck, which symbolizes traditionally anxiety, pain, and all of that. In the thought deck, it's called cruelty, and it's in the reversed. And because if it's in the reversed, it's not only speaking to me about cruelty that someone does to you. It could be emotional cruelty, it could be depriving someone of some resources, mistreatment, etc. But it could also be the cruelty that we inflict on ourselves. And that would mean putting up with certain kind of behavior all this while, not thinking about it. And in lockdown periods, as I mentioned before, instances of people going through mistreatment has increased. Of course, when there is someone's more powerful physically and that person is kind of misusing their physical power, actively abusing, you need to assess, or the victim needs to assess, if they have seen this all this while, if they knew it all this while, and were they quiet about it. If they were quiet about it, they have been cruel to themselves by allowing it. And the lockdown period maybe will show, this period will show how much you can put up with this cruelty, and if it is worth it. If it is worth it to be cruel to yourself by accepting cruelty. Or is it just the time to end it? Is it the time to report it? Is it the time to understand that you are valuable and that you should not be treated in a certain way? And finally, moving from all this, I got a very beautiful message, a positive, a ray of light in all this, the Chariot card. It's a major arcana card which denotes the universe's will as opposed to personal choice. And as you saw in the Chariot card, there are these two horses that a person is controlling, and this person seems to be in complete control of its chariot and of the horses. And this very complicated, complex, even heavy message kind of culminates with the Chariot card, which says that this period of suffering for many has been given to you so that you can balance your life later. You can control your life better. You can you're more in control of the emotional and material and mental aspects of yourself. Nobody else should be controlling your life, but you should be controlling your life. And you may even find ways how to do it. Essentially, this period of 3 months is taking us to a point where we are more in control of what we want next. These 3 months, 3.5 months, 2.5 months, 3.5 months, as my calculation said, is going to show a lot of people the way to a more fulfilling life, where they're emotionally more in control. They're not codependent, they're not too dependent, they're not too needy, they're not very weak emotionally. And if they have been weak emotionally, they will see it. They will recognize, it's like an eye-opener period. You recognize your own shortcomings and maybe the shortcomings of a situation that you have chosen to ignore thus far. That, I think, is a very important message. Okay, so this is for everyone who is stuck with people that they no more like, or stuck with difficult people, not going through a very pleasant environment at home. And I would again like to reiterate that rising above, not engaging, not dwelling on the fact that there is a problem. So the sooner you recognize that there's a problem, you will not dwell on how bad your fate is, because then you will be in control to find solutions. Because once you identify a problem, it's human tendency to start finding the next step. Maybe all this while you didn't know your problem. Maybe these 3 months will show you the true nature of your problem. And that's the path to being more in control. Okay, now I'll come to the next set of people who are stuck away from their loved ones. So the first card that I got over here is the Ten of Earth. It's a card of stability, as you can see, material stability, someone very comfortable and secure in the way they are. Now, the people who are away from each other, this is a time to differentiate between one, if you feel stable together, if you feel that okay, distance and restrictions have kind of put you far away for some time, but you are determined to see it through. You want to stick around and you believe in the stability of this relationship that you have. There is that. And there is also this other aspect of this flip side of some people may just think that they're feeling more stable by themselves. Maybe they will question the reasons, not only question, but they will also reflect. Yeah, reflect is a better expression. They will reflect on the reasons why they are or they were in a particular arrangement or a relationship in the first place. So this whole thing in 3 months, what's happening is this whole thing of what goes forward, with who do you go forward, what is the kind of life that you build after these 3 months or some months of being in a turmoil, that gets determined. You basically, this way or that, you arrive at the right reasons through this turmoil. And so a lot of people who are stuck away from loved ones may reflect on what was or what is, and if it is working for them being alone, and is it a sustainable thing. Because the next card I got was love, and it means that those, very simplistically, it means those who stick through these times will stick on, and others will find a deep love for themselves and for the things that they want, for their purpose in life. And so this time will be decisive for a lot of people out there who have questions about their partnership right now. They could be together, they could be far away, but this period of turmoil, this unprecedented confinement, is going to bring to light what you need to take out of your life and what you need to keep in your life. And it was really surprising that I again got the Chariot card. You can see I got the Chariot card earlier, I got the Chariot card again, and that reiterated to me that reiterated this message of rebalancing to me, that it is certain that this period is meant for people to reflect on their emotional well-being. And probably they were being lazy about taking control of their lives earlier. So I also know people who were confused about being with someone when things were normal. And when this time has come, those people have suddenly found conviction, and they've been like, they just got time to think without any disturbance about this aspect of their lives, and they're more sure, they've actually got some clarity during this time. And that will be a lot of people, as I told you about the 10 of Earth cards, that you are going to think if this is for keeps, if you guys are stable together or stable without. So this time certainly has huge ramifications for forming a world which is emotionally more honest with themselves. And it's again a rebalancing. That's the word that came to me again and again, that this period is painful for many, particularly painful for those who are stuck with people they don't like within houses and residences, etc. But there is a rebalancing, a positive process, a change of sorts. The chariot is moving, the chariot is meant to move, its wheels are supposed to move, it's ready over there for you, but you did not have control on your horses, really. You did not have control on, you did not even try to probably get control over your heart and mind. And here you are, after this period, the control, the balance in your heart and mind, the right answer that you wanted in your heart and mind is going to come to you. Finally, for those who are away from each other, my final oracle message is embarking on an adventure. I savor the wonders of the world. Well, as I said, if you stick through, you are going to see this world with the other person. You are going to eventually meet in 3 months, or as my calculation said. And yeah, it will certainly be worth the effort. The adventure would certainly be worth the effort, and you'll be able to see world with new perspective along with your partners. And even if you end up deciding against this partnership during the lockdown period, you will embark on another adventure of your own, another emotional adventure in which you are a different person. Different people respond to life differently. What's adventure for some is fear to the others. And maybe this is the time for all of us to transmute our fears into strength. And I think it's emotional hurt that all of us are most scared to have. A lot of people don't open up because of that. A lot of people don't make themselves available. A lot of people don't put themselves out there. A lot of people keep on hanging to toxic situations because of fear of something that we've already discussed. And at the end of this period, it's a difficult period. It's turmoil, as I've repeatedly said. But this has been brought, so the synchronicities in this card, like the chariot appearing twice, and the kind of cards that I got in this reading have made me believe that there is a purpose to this madness. There is a reason why we are supposed to live mindful lives, because of which this has happened. And if you're struggling right now, my tarot cards are saying that just let this time elapse and the answers will come to you. But you need to rise above the negative feelings in order to receive the answers. I hope my reading has helped you in some way. Please feel free to write to me at my email ID vaagmi.tarot@gmail.com for more readings. Please subscribe to my channel and like it if you like my videos. It really encourages me a lot, and thank you for all your subscribes and likes so far. And again, praying for your good health. I take leave of you right now. I'll be back with a new reading soon. Bye till then.